We articulated our vision to be that which is to create an enabling environment, to provide a focused and qualitative governance, whilst creating an enabling environment for public-private sector partnership, because we believe that is very fundamental to the economic growth of this state. And when there's economic growth, there will be individual prosperity.
As a starting point, Ogun State, by virtue of its location and the abundance of human and natural resources, I think is one of the states that has the greatest potential in this country.
For us, Ogun State has been a place where it's been encouraging to do business because they made the environment plausible for any industry to work with.
For the health sector, our vision, His Excellency's vision, is to actually provide quality healthcare that is affordable to the man on the street.
In the public transport space, his vision for His Excellency for the people of Ogun State is for them to have a safe mode of transportation.
This is the fastest airport construction anywhere in Nigeria, anywhere in Africa. Because I've been to numerous projects, and if you can see the intention and the dedication, you can look, even right there, just at casting, you have over 20-30 people working, and this is a 50 million square meter project. And the airport represents about 8 million, and every corner, you cannot go 2 kilometers without seeing people walking.
All that His Excellency was saying is this: look, guys, leave the noise alone. Let's do the work. The work will speak for us.
The government style is clearly different. You can tell. It's an excellent breath of fresh air.
So I think having really Dapo as a governor there, it is attracting a lot of investments.
The ambition really is making Ogun State to be the fastest growing economy in Nigeria for the well-being of its citizens.
Housing is no longer a privilege, but the right of every citizen of Ogun State.
Ogun State has evolved dramatically into Nigeria's capital of industrialization and the potential engine room for the country's future growth. Bordered by Lagos and 3 other southwest states, Ogun State has the largest concentration of federal roads running through it more than anywhere else in the country.
Prince Dapo Abiri is a blessing to Ogun State, not only being the governor, because he's coming with a lot of private sector experience, and we as industrialists, we don't really have to even go and tell him what we need, because he's from our own sector. He's one of us. So he knows what we need. And before you even ask him, he will actually, take an action.
And I set forth to begin to identify the team that would be able to aptly work on the implementation of that vision. That led us to what we call ISHEA, which are our 5 developmental pillars. ISHEA is an acronym for I being for infrastructure, S for social well-being and welfare, E for education, Y for youth empowerment and job creation, and A for agriculture.
At the beginning of this administration, we did prepare a document, an economic development plan that will guide the implementation of these initiatives and also deliver the promises from His Excellency's manifesto down to specific development initiatives and policies of his administration.
So we looked at the I and considered it a priority developmental pillar.
Infrastructure. The Aerotropolis Agro-Cargo Airport is currently under construction near Ilishan-Remo. This very strategic project is expected to take advantage of important linkage effects and turn Ogun State into one of the most important agricultural distribution hubs in the whole of the West African sub-region.
Implementing the I for infrastructure, believing that that comes first for a reason. If we say we want to create an enabling environment, a lot of things besides being upholding the tenets of good governance come into play. We must look at the provision of security infrastructure, because without peace and security, nobody's going to want to come to your state. So we look at transportation infrastructure. We noticed that when we assumed office, there was a skew in favor of some part of the state against the other part of the state. But the first thing we did was to create the Ministry of Transportation, which didn't exist before.
So on resumption of office, one of the very quick things he did was to establish this ministry, established only in February of 2020. Of course, as I've just been saying, it's a reflection of the fact that transportation is seen as critical to economic development within the state.
These are better, they are more efficient in terms of consumption of fuel to cost, they are cleaner, and they are a more sustainable means of transportation anywhere in the world. And we are starting that in Ogun State, being the first state in Nigeria. As your governor, I'm extremely delighted that we are able to commence the implementation of this laudable initiative. And I'm bold enough to say that we have come top yet again as the first state in the country to record this feat. We are determined and committed to the implementation of a multi-modal transport master plan, which connects our air transportation, road transportation, sea transportation, rail transportation.
Because we are truly the logistics and distribution hub for Nigeria. And so infrastructure will cover things like transport infrastructure. So a multimodal transport system is what is important for us to maximize our full potential. So from roads, particularly interstate roads, city roads, township roads, and rural roads, they're very, very critical that we do something about that.
I think one thing we have to give our governor, I think he also likes making roads. But roads are important. And if you look at the accomplishment of roads, the road network leads to business efficiency, logistics. Without good logistics, cost of business would still be high.
What is important is the creation of an enabling environment, all right, where there's peace, where there's security, where there's good infrastructure. And I think that already exists there, given the work that the governor is doing.
Location of Ogun State as well is crucial. With location, you're able to move to all parts of the country easily. In fact, what we find is that a lot of the haulage companies will tell us that they would rather come to us than go to other parts, or especially coming to Lagos or things. So location is key. The governance at the moment is also excellent.
The governor has done very well. Private sector mindset, bringing it to governance, I think shows the seriousness with which it attaches to the job.
For us in Ogun State, I think the governor, in the terms of road network, in the terms of business ideologies that are creating, even in the terms of the new cargo airport, the location, and the building of infrastructure to create enabling factors for the businesses. Those are key areas that we should see as future opportunities for us to do business. And that, for me, is where I'll take a personal note and kudos to the governor for actually enabling us.
2021 March, we began the construction of our truly international agro cargo airport.
This is the fastest airport construction anywhere in Nigeria, anywhere in Africa.
We are a Nigerian state. The population of about 6 million people, and a land size of about 16,000 square kilometers, having the largest number of forest reserves in this country, about 9. The number one producer of cassava, number one producer of eggs, number one producer of poultry, number one producer of rice in the southwest, number one producer of catfish in this country. The plantations like rubber plantations, cocoa plantations, vast palm oil plantations, cashew plantations, and being geographically conveniently located at almost the center point of Ogun State, bound by 2 major expressways. Lagos-Ibadan Expressway being about less than a kilometer from that airport location, and Shagamu being expressway being about half a kilometer from that location as well. We felt, for all those reasons and more, the case for a cargo airport was made. And it corroborates when we say that we are the gateway state. We have more federal roads crisscrossing this state than any other state in this country. Because of that, I said we must be given a special status. The rail line that comes from Lagos, goes to Ibadan, goes to Kano, has 5 stations here. I think Lagos has 2 stations and Oyo State has 3 stations. We are poised to take advantage of this rail corridor. So we're looking at how to ensure that we create more stations within Ogun State for the convenience of our people. We are going to ensure that we run spurs to those stations, and we also invest in our own rolling stock. So we are not limited by the trains that the federal government has as of now, that's running on schedule and stopping in 5 stations. But once we run our own spurs to our own stations, particularly for the convenience of our manufacturers who are here, they would be able to now begin to load their containers from those designated stations all the way to the port for export or to the hinterland. And also, we'll also be able to move much more of our people from their various towns to either Lagos or back to Ogun State. So these are how, in terms of high-level summary, what our multimodal transport master plan has thrown up and how we have begun the implementation of that.
Social welfare. 236 hospitals and healthcare facilities are being refurbished and upgraded, while the number of ambulances have been increased from the time the government came into being, from a paltry 5 ambulances to 40 that provides greater coverage across the local governments and shortened response time. A comprehensive health insurance program has now also been implemented to ensure qualitative healthcare is available for the most vulnerable in society. The administration of Prince Dakwa Abiodun early on penciled down the provision of decent accommodation for inhabitants of the state as a major, non-negotiable and under its infrastructure development pillar of Isheya. The King's Court Housing Estate is a celebration of Prince Dakwa Abiodun's notable qualities as an astute and exemplary leader. The estate is a premium upscale development of 85 units of 4-bedroom duplexes with boys' quarters and luxury apartments, and was embarked upon by the state government through the Ogun State Property and Investment Corporation, OPIC. Indeed, the development is a deliberate attempt by the Ogun State government to provide a choice destination where people can live, work, and play in a safe and secure environment. The Prince Dakwa Abiodun administration has been given education priority status under the state's development agenda. Under the program, 1,000 schools have been refurbished and upgraded with improved tools and teaching materials to greatly improve the standard of education in the state. Youth empowerment. The administration's youth empowerment plan has included the deliberate provision of agricultural land for young people from across the state. Knowing the state's position as the education capital of the country with the largest number of educational institutions, the administration of Prince Dakwa Abiodun set out to harness the potential of the vibrant youths of Ogun State by embarking on a project that is now connecting all her educational institutions with high-speed internet through the underground fiber optic cabling, improving the reliability and speed of the internet for residents while building bridges to the international community through the creation of specialized centers like the Ogun Tech Hub to take advantage of this important resource. Agriculture. Under the administration's Agricultural Renewal Plan, special agro-processing zones have been implemented to support output from areas of high agricultural potential to boost productivity, integrate production, and share business development services. The impact of this initiative has lifted countless rural farmers out of subsistence and into prosperity, and in the process given hope to countless others.
We aim to become the breadbasket of this nation. But see, all these things that we've managed to achieve have been successful because we've also ensured that we put the right reforms in place. The right fiscal reforms, the right financial reforms, the right economic reforms. We've created agencies to implement those reforms. We created the Ogun State Investment Promotion Agency to continue to market us as a state and market our competitive and comparative advantage, so you know who we are. We created the Business Environment Council that ensures that we enhance our ease of doing business.
The promise of tomorrow starts from the work of today. Isheya. Work starts. Ishenlo. Work is going on.